Okay, once again, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
So a very warm welcome to all of you present over here for this today's interesting session. So we from Sri Krishna Group of Institutions, GIBS B School and Sri Krishna Degree College having MBA and MCom welcome you all for today's interesting session, a student development program on dissertation to publishing an article, a roadmap. So I heartily welcome all of you present over here. Firstly, I would like to welcome our today's resource person, Dr. Satish P, for this session. We welcome you, sir. Nextly, I would like to welcome our principal madam, Dr. Revati Shivshankaran, for this session. Welcome you, ma'am. Nextly, I would like to welcome our director, PG director, Dr. Professor M. Venugopalan, for this function. Welcome you, sir. So I'd like to welcome all the various participants from all over for this interesting session, because we in GIBS B School believe education is a key in unlocking the world. So we want our students to work and enhance their knowledge. For that reason, we took an initiation for organizing this student development program. So we just want to say it's an interesting topic and session finalized by our madam, Dr. Revati Shivshankaran, which gave us so many participants that even we are going live in YouTube for this. So without taking much of the time, so let us begin with the session. Yeah. So to proceed with, firstly, to know our resource person today, I'd like our MBA 4SEM student, Ms. Madhushri, to please introduce our today's resource person. Madhushri, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, Madhushri, you are audible. Go.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. First of all, good morning, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce our key resource person, Dr. Satish P. Sir has done his doctoral degree from VIT deemed to be University Vellore. He is specialized in finance and accounting, doing his research in the same area. He has completed his BCom from SRM University, Chennai, and MBA from Anna University. Sir is also a gold medalist and earned first rank in BCom, and also a class topper in MBA and 39th rank holder in Anna University. Sir has 6 years of Sir has 6 years of teaching and 4 years of research experiences. As a part of his research,
I'm just checking. Madhushri? Madhushri? Okay. I apologize for the technical glitch. Okay. I apologize for the technical glitch. So, sir is an assistant professor at Christ deemed to be university. Sir has 6 years of teaching experience and 4 years of research experience. And Sir is very well versed with the technical aspects of SPSS, Artscraft, and many more to go. Yes. So with this brief introduction, I heartily welcome you, sir, for today's session. Welcome you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Madhushri.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I had a network issue.
Continue.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Sir is also a gold medalist and earned first rank in BCom and also earned a class topper in MBA and 39th rank holder in Anna University. Sir has 6 years teaching and 4 years research experience. As a part of his research work, he had published articles in peer-reviewed journals, which includes Scoopers Index Journal, Australian Business Deans Council, listed journals, and IBASCO host journals. Sir had also presented research papers in national and international conferences and also attended faculty development programs and workshops, which are related to SPSS, AMOS, and econometrics. He went as a resource person for various FDP programs and been as a guest lecturer, session chair for conference and workshops to various reputed colleges. Sir is well versed in handling SPSS, R StarCraft, E-Views for financial data analysis in research area. He received award in 2017 for publications in VIT University Vellore. Recently, Sir has received award for Best Researcher 2020 conducted by Pondicherry Research Society in Pondicherry. Currently, Sir is working as assistant professor in Christ deemed to be University Bangalore. With this brief introduction, I heartily welcome you, sir, for today's student development program. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Madhushri.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
now I request our resource person, Dr. Satish P. Sir, to please continue the session. I hand over the session to you, sir. So once again, welcome back, guys, and apologize for the technical glitch. So now I hand over the session to our today's resource person, Dr. Satish P. Sir, I hand over the session to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction about myself. Am I audible, ma'am? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, fine, fine. So before going into the sessions, good morning, all of you. On this occasion, I'd like to say thanks to the management, GIBS B School, director, principal, and academic director for invited me as a resource person for this session, that is recitations to publishing an article, a roadmap. And definitely, I hope these sessions will be very much useful to the students, those who are pursuing MCOM and MBA students, and also the faculty members. It will be useful. And before going into the session, and ma'am, can you make me as a co-host?
Yes, sir, we are doing it, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you can directly present, sir.
No, ma'am, it's showing host disabled participants screen sharing. So there,
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
just give me 2 minutes, sir.
yeah. Okay, before that, before doing this, let me talk something with you people. See, we are all facing so many problems because of this COVID-19.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, now we can share the screen, sir. You are a host now.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I think you can able to see the screen now.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Yeah. So we are all facing so many problems because of this COVID-19. Since last 1.5 years, we are facing the problems in various aspects. If you look at the educational sector, okay, so before we were using offline, the students came to the classes physically, but everything now shifted to the online. Okay, so I understood there are various problems, pros and cons will be there for online education, and especially when the students getting the project or internship from the company, it is very difficult due to this pandemic situation. Okay, so in these situations, how to do the project as a MBA students or income students, they have to do project at the end of the semester. Okay, so in that case, how to get the company to do the internship or dissertations or projects. Okay, so there are earlier the students have to go to the company and get the approval and do the internship. Because of this pandemic situations, they came, the students, a few students are getting the company, few students are not able to get the company to do the internship. Okay, so if those are not getting the company for doing the internship, what are the alternatives way to do the project preparation, that is a dissertation preparation. Okay, so that is what we are going to see in this entire session. Okay, so those who got the company for doing the dissertations or those who not get the company for doing the dissertations, it will be useful to both the candidates. Okay, now you all know the session title, dissertations to publishing an article, a roadmap. So when you do the dissertations, I'm going to teach you how to write the article along with the dissertation work. Okay, before going into the deep about this, I just want to know how far you have understand about this, the dissertation work. I think this is given, these are all the components given in the guidelines by the college: introduction, literature review, research methodology, data analysis, findings, conclusion, recommendation. Now, I just want to test you all how much you are understanding about this component which is pertaining to the dissertation preparation. Now, this is the match of the following. The students, I request you, you can post the answer in the chat box. so that I can understand. So if it is an introduction, which is relevant to what? So this is the right side I have given the relevant to the introduction. Okay, so which one you can match according to the introduction? I think that is the chat box. Yes, you can post the answer in the chat box. Yeah, first one is what is the introduction? So generally, what kind of things will be included in the introduction chapter? Yes, no answer. No answer in the chat box. I'm expecting answer in the chat box. Yes. Take fast, fast, fast. We have to talk too much about this dissertation preparations along with the article. Yes. What is the introduction? Introductions. What happened? No answer. And can the students post the chat in the chat box?
Uh, yes, sir. So students, I request you to please share your answer because we are here to learn something. If you share your point of view, sir can also share his point of view.
No. Yeah, I got one
It's
answer
not
from
enhancing the knowledge.
Yes, yes. See, it will be interactive session. If I'm talking continuously from my side, then it will be a one-way interaction. So I need an interaction from the participants. Yeah. Introduction. No, no. Actually, this is the match of the following. Okay. I have given the left side the introduction literature review according to the chapter wise. Now, you have to look at the right side according to introduction, which is the relevant component in the right side. You have to match. I think I got the answer from Madhu. Important of topic industry. No, no, no. So here I have not given any important of topic industry profile. Just you have to match. And exact answer I got it from Sing ISBR. Introduction, which is will be objectives will be included in the introduction. That is the main thing. Okay, so normally what we will do, introduction in the introduction chapter will be given about the title of the study. Okay, and then at the end of the introduction, we will be mentioned about the objectives of the study. Okay, and what about the second one, literature review? Yes, exactly. Literature. Thank you, Vinay Kumar. Literature review means existing studies or theoretical point of view. Okay, so everything we are going to discuss in detail. Just I want to know how far you understood about these components before doing the internship or project something. Then research methodology. Yes. So what is the research methodology here? G. No, no, no. Research methodology. Yes, yeah. Madhusri, fine. Research methodology deals with the research design or data source of your study. And then data analysis. Data analysis. Yes, Madhusri. Data analysis deals with the what kind of statistical analysis you are going to use for your study. Okay, so that is for preparation of dissertations as well as the preparation of article writing. And then findings related to is yeah, exactly. So results, so findings, results, whatever output we are getting from the analysis, that will be based on that we have to write the findings, that is the results. And then conclusions, no, conclusion, no, no, not B, conclusion. And just keeping the cursor on this. What is the conclusions? Conclusion, while writing the conclusions, you have to include some of the limitations also. Okay, so what are the areas you have covered? What are the areas it to cover? So all those things you will be mentioning in the conclusion part. And finally, recommendations. So what is the recommendations? Which answer you have to choose for the recommendation? Yes, recommendations. Yes, exactly. The suggestions or future scope of the study. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for your answers. So these are all the generally the chapters will be given in the dissertation guidelines. The same component will be preparing for the research article also. Okay, fine. Now here we have to see the two sides. One is a preparation of dissertation, or another one is the preparation of research article. Now coming to the next slide, this is the answer. Yeah, fine. So this is the preparation of, so what these are all the chapters we have discussed earlier. Okay, so the same thing you can prepare in the dissertation report also, both MBA as well as the MCOM students. So generally, first one, introduction, followed by objectives of the study, then industry and company profile. Suppose in case if you got the company to do the internship or project or dissertations, you have to attach the industry and the company profile. So what is industry and company? Industry means it is a group of companies called industry. Say for instance, steel industry, cement industry, and then IT industry. Okay, see, these are all the industry. And what is a company? Under industry, there are so many companies. For instance, if it is a IT industry, under IT industry, we have Wipro, TCS, Cognizant. So these are all the companies. So suppose if you are doing dissertations in Wipro, you have to attach about the IT industry profile, and then company profile you need to attach for dissertation report, and then followed by literature review. What is the literature review? The supporting documents you have to attach, and then followed by you have to do the methodology, data analysis and interpretation, findings and conclusions, recommendations, and followed by references. So this is the guidelines which is already given in your college department guidelines. And coming to the next one, article, the preparation of research article. Okay, so you all know about the concept of research. So what is the research? Finding the solution for the problem. So without the problem, we cannot able to do the research. Okay, so how to do simultaneously? How to do simultaneously dissertations and research article? I think whatever we have discussed in the earlier slide, the same content I have included in this. Okay, so some of the subsections also have included, but the major component is this one: introduction, review of literature, methodology, data analysis, findings and conclusion, recommendation. Here I have given detail about all the chapters. So when you see the research article, first one we need to attach the abstract. Okay, first stage. Okay, forget about this. The sequence you forget about this. The first one, when you start the research article, when you start the dissertation work, first step I have given in the bracket, selection of research problem. So first one, for the motivation of any kind of research, whether it is a science research or social science research or any kind of any area of any field of research, the first main motivation is selection of problem, that is identification of problems. I told you, without a problem we cannot find out the we cannot do the research. Okay, so even the people, the government are still facing the problem of COVID. Okay, so how to reduce the COVID, the spreading of COVID among the people? Okay, so many people are coming forward to take the vaccination, but still many people are not taking the vaccination, especially in the rural area. Okay, so this is the problem which is facing by the government. So how to solve this kind of problems? Okay, so what are the strategies as a government to be incorporated to spread the vaccinations among the rural people? So this is the problems. So how to do the research towards this particular problem? So this is the, so first one is selection of research problem, and followed by to match this research problem of the supporting documents, evidence. We should have a evidence to prove the research. Okay, so extensive literature survey and theoretical support, the second step you have to follow. And followed by the third one, the third one is research gap. See, literature survey means existing studies. If anyone already done the research the same topic or not. Okay, so for that you have to do lot of literature surveys, existing studies, and also you have to look at the theoretical support. What is the theoretical support? Suppose if you are testing any theories for your study, say for instance, one of in finance, one theory is called arbitrage pricing theory. Okay, suppose if you want to test this theory, arbitrage pricing theory, you can test for your study also, but you should know what this theory states that clearly. Okay, so everything we will discuss in detail. Just look at these are all the contents will be there while preparing the research article. And once if you thoroughly study about the literature survey, then automatically you can able to find out the research gap. So what is the research gap? that should be something unique when compared with the other studies. Okay, so nobody has done, nobody, we should not say nobody, we should say very little study, very lack of studies in that particular area. Okay, so very lack of studies have done related to the COVID vaccination. So, okay, so this is the research gap you have to present for your study. And then research model. So research model, how the research model will be. So the research model will be prepared based on the dependent and independent variable. So you have to first identify the variable for the study, and then you have to make it a proper research model or research framework. Okay, and then the fourth step will be research questions. Research questions, you have to prepare the research questions based on the research of gap. Then followed by the fifth step is research objectives. So what is the research objectives? What is the main motivation of doing the research? Main motivation of doing the dissertation. So when I say research, you just think about the dissertation also, no problem. Okay, then after framing the research objectives, you have to look at, you have to frame the hypothesis. Okay, we will discuss what is the hypothesis, all those things. Then hypothesis, after the hypothesis, then you have to go to the data analysis. Before writing the methodology, we have to do the data analysis based on our data, sample size, what is the purpose of objectives, all those things. Based on that, we have to do data analysis. Then from the from the output of the data analysis, we have to write the interpretation and inferences. That is the 8th stage. Then the 9th stage will be hypothesis testing. Already we have prepared a hypothesis, that is a tentative statement. Finally, we have to select any one hypothesis based on the our analysis. Okay. Then the 10th stage will be findings and conclusions, that is based on our results of the study. And then the 11th stage will be recommendations, implications. Then straight away you have to go to the 12th one, introduction. So at last, finally only you have to write the introduction part. You know what this generally the students will do, no, MBA and MCOM students. So first they will start the introduction part without finalizing the topic. Then later on, after in-depth analysis or in-depth study, then they will entirely change the topic without doing any pilot study or in-depth analysis and all. So my request from my side is, introduction you have to write it in the last stage. You have to write it in the last stage after completing all the components, and finally you should move on to the references. So why I have highlighted in the red color references, because while doing the literature review itself, you have to write the references. Okay, so if you write the references along with the literature survey, you can complete the 2 components simultaneously. Okay, so finally, once if you complete all the chapters, all the component, and then you have to write the abstract of 1 page. Okay, abstract about the study in 1 page. What is the abstract? It is a short summary of your entire study. So it's a very difficult to bring the entire report in 1 page. Okay, but however, you have to write it in the 1 page only. That is called abstract. Okay, now this is the agenda which we are going to discuss in the upcoming session. First one is identification of problem, as I discussed in the earlier slide. So whatever it is, to do the research in the, especially in the social science area, first you have to identify the problem. Sir, how to identify the problem? As a students, how to identify the problem? Not only for the students, even for the researchers also, new researchers into the social science area, how to identify the problem? The first one is, first you have to select the specialization. Okay, so which specialization you have taken? Whether it is a finance, marketing, HR, accounting, logistics, operations, okay, whatever it is. Okay, so which specialization you have taken for your MBA or MCOM, based on that you have to select the theme. What is the theme here? The concept. Say for instance, when I talk about human resource HR specialization, there are so many concepts. I think you can post it in the chat box also. What are the concepts right now you are studying in HR specialization? Yes, I'll give one example. Employee satisfaction. Employee satisfaction. Then, what are the concepts you have come across in the HR specialization? No answer. Good. Fine. So employee satisfaction, emotional intelligence, work-life balance, these are all the theme. Okay, so these are all the theme under the specialization. Then coming to the marketing. Okay, so under marketing, we have so many concepts. What is that? Service quality, brand image, customer loyalty. Okay, so these are all the theme. We can say theme under the broad area. Okay, so under the service quality, okay, under the service quality, where you can find out the where you can do the research on, especially service quality. See, again, I'm repeating, broad area means the area of specialization. Under the specialization, you have to find out the theme. Okay, so what I have discussed, HR means under HR so many themes we have. So which is a familiar topic to you to do the research. So don't take unfamiliar topic. If you take unfamiliar topic, it is very difficult to do the research. So that's why I'm insisting you people take the familiar topic. Okay, so theme, then topic. So customer service quality, in which area you're going to do service quality, whether in terms of whether you're going to do the research in automobile sector, IT sector, or FMCG sector. Okay, so based on that, you have to find out the topic. Okay, so that should be very unique when compared with the other studies. Okay, now if you look at the next slide, the broad area. So I have mentioned broad area here: HR, finance, marketing, logistics. Coming to the themes, if I have given one example for each specialization. Leadership deals with the HR. Okay, so leadership. So coming to the leadership, what kind of things can be done using this leadership concept? So you have to look at various literature review. Okay, so leadership styles, how the leadership styles will have impact on the organizational performance. Okay, so the leadership styles will not be same for all the persons. Okay, so some people will have, one person will have different leadership styles, the another person will have a different leadership style. So how these leadership styles will have a significant impact on the organizational overall performance. Okay, so that is the thing. Coming to the stock market in finance. Okay, so you know stock market. So the stock market in India, the stock market is represented by BSc and NSc finance students. Okay, now can you anyone see what is the BSc values as of now today? It is keep on increasing, crossed 50,000 points. Can you say exactly? Just post it in the chat box. I don't want to answer. Just post it in the chat box. That's fine. I just look at that post chat box. Fine. Okay, so the stock market, you know, there are so many studies have already done related to the stock market, the research, but still the people are finding, still the people are doing more research on the stock markets. Who are all the participants involving in the stock markets, especially the foreign and domestic institutional investors, and then how the retail investors influencing the stock market. So this is the theme. Okay, so stock market is one of the concept in finance, one of the area in finance. In that you can do many research. And then customer loyalty. So customer loyalty is one theme under the broad area. Then inventory management in logistics. Now how to fix the title? So how to bring out the title from the theme, that is very important. Title will be fixed at the end of the study only. Okay, whatever analysis you are getting from the analysis, whatever findings you're getting from the analysis, based on that you have to fix the title. So the title will be finalized at the end of the completion of the entire work. Okay, so now look at this, the theme leadership. I've told you impact of leadership styles on organizational performance. I'm not only telling the leadership styles will have an impact on the organizational performance. There are various factors which is influencing the organizational performance. Say for instance, employee satisfaction. Okay, so employee satisfaction also will be increased the organizational performance. Okay, so that is only one variable I have taken. What is the leadership styles? There are many factors which is influencing the organization performance. Coming to the stock market, here I have mentioned the analysis of trading behavior of foreign and domestic institutional investors in the Indian stock market. If you look at the stock market, every day, day by day, the investment of foreign institutional investors and domestic institutional investors mutual funds, LIC, they are putting their investments in the stock market. Because of that, the stock market is moving towards uptrend. Okay, if foreign institutional investors exit from the market, then certainly the market will come down to certain point. So you have to analyze why the stock market is moving up and down. What is the reason? Okay, what are the macroeconomic variables which is influencing on the stock market? So there are so many research already done, but you have to pull out what kind of things it to be done in this particular topic. So your research should be related to like that only. And then coming to the marketing, customer loyalty, relationship between service quality, brand image, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. This is the title. Now we can say the service quality. If you provide the if you provide the quality products, if you provide the quality of services to the customers, automatically the company brand image will be improved, the customer satisfaction will be improved, and then at last the customer loyalty also will be improved. So the service quality will have a significant impact on the brand image, customer satisfaction, and customer loyalty. Similarly for inventory management. Okay, so this is the way you have to identify the problems. Okay, so it's not an easy task to identify the problems within a one day. Okay, you have to look at various perspective, okay, along with the literature support. Now, sir, how to collect the informations to match my problems of the study? Coming to the next one, while writing the statement of the problem. Okay, so after identifying the problems, say for instance, customer loyalty or employee satisfaction. So how the statement of the problem will be, how to write a statement of the problem. So one researcher in 1983, that is the name is Carlinger, he has identified three criteria of good problems and problem statements. So when you write the problem statements, you have to mind three items. The problems should express relationship more variables. So these two are more variables. I mentioned leadership style or organization. Leadership style is one way, organization performance is the another way. So this is the link between the two variables. So which is of the problem. Okay. They stated clear problem. And coming to the next one, sources of research problem. So what way we can able to get, we can identify the research problems. One is daily problems. Okay, every day we are facing the problems. Even now at present, we are all facing COVID problem. Can we do any research related to the COVID-19? Okay, so you can do the research on this. And day by day, what kind of problems the companies are facing. Okay, and then in company, we are all moving to the digital, the online educations, even online work from home. Okay, so are they really balancing their family and the work? So work-life balance you can do through this online things, and then how the online classes are effective. All those things you can. These are all the daily problems which are facing at present. Okay, from that also we can find out the research problem, and then previous research. So if anybody done related to the particular topic, say for instance, customer loyalty. If anybody done the customer loyalty in the particular sector, okay, so what can be implemented extra new things? So that is can be derived from the previous research. And then existing theories. So there are so many theories we have in marketing, finance, HR. We will be discussing in the forthcoming slides, existing theories. If you want to test the existing theories, I told you arbitrage pricing theory, efficient market hypothesis, Maslow hierarchy theory. Can you able to test really these theories are practically applicable as of now? Okay, so that kind of theories we can take and test it in the present scenario. And then technological changes. So we changes this. There are a lot of changes are happening in the technological field. For example, payment bank. Many people are using Google Pay. What is the Google Pay? Phone Pay. But why the people, few people are not aware about this payment banking? Can we do any research on this? Yeah, you can do. You have to select one area and you have to collect the data from those people why they are not familiar with this payment banking, all those things. Then unexplored areas. What is unexplored areas? Something those have not done already. Okay, so those have not done yet to do the research in the particular area, that is called unexplored area. If you do the research, especially in the area of unexplored things, definitely your research will be will be very acceptable one by the journals. Okay, so immediately they will accept your article for the publications. And then discussions with the supervisor. Suppose if you're not familiar with the topic or area of the studies, you can discuss with the experts, those who are experts in the particular specialization. And then the theories of one's own interest. Suppose if you want to develop the theory, okay, so already we have so many theories. If you want to develop the new theories, okay, so that is also you can do. And then practical experience. So these are all the sources where we can able to find out the research problem for the study. Fine. Now, after identifying the research problem, okay, for the dissertation work, how to gather the information to support the problems. Okay, so once if you identify the problems, you cannot write 100% own everything in sentence. Okay, you should have some supportical documents. Supportical documents, say for instance, even if you look at the police investigation, they will be always finding the evidence for some cases. So similarly, when you write any article, when you write any dissertations, you should have a supportical document. So how do we know the customer loyalty which we are going to study, which is newly one, nobody has done? So we cannot say without any evidence. Okay, so we have to find out if anybody has done the customer loyalty in the earlier days, or any customer satisfaction or financial statement analysis is already done by someone or not. So we can find out through this some of the database. Okay, so one of the free database we have, that is called Google Scholar. Okay, that is a freely available, where you can search the articles related to your title in the Google Scholar. Okay, we will discuss later. Now, coming to the next stage, review of literature. After identifying the problems, you have to go through the literature review. Okay, so you have to go through the articles which is related to the topic. So what is the review of literature? Just we'll see the introduction. Any research, any kind of research, it may be inductive or deductive. What is inductive or deductive? Inductive means, first let us talk about deductive. Deductive means, suppose if as a researcher, if they want to test the existing theories, if they want to test the existing theories for their study, then it is called deductive. What is inductive? If any researchers wants to build a theory, if any researchers wants to build a new theory for new concepts in the area of marketing, finance, HR, then it is called inductive research. So any kind of research, the ultimate requirement will have a review of literature. So the literature review will be very much useful to the researchers to know about the particular topic, deep knowledge about the particular topic. It should be a critical review, not a description of what someone already said. Okay, so when you do the literature review, you have to thoroughly read from the top to bottom. Okay, from the abstract to conclusions, you have to read thoroughly. Then only you'll come to know what has already done, what it to be done in the particular area. Okay, and also you can get some idea about how to go about the research work in detail. So the a proper review will help one to have a clear idea in the theoretical context under the study. Further, it will clarify the purposes and outcomes. So once if you read the literature thoroughly, then you will come to know what kind of objectives we have to fix for our study, what will be the expected outcomes, results, and give the researchers an idea as to which situations the results of the study will hold good. So this is the review of literature's introduction. Coming to the meaning of the literature review here is the critical summary. Okay, it is already published work which we are going to see. For implement our study. Okay, some of the concept will be taken to our study. So normally the literature review analyze the specific issues, what kind of study it will be. So for instance, you have chosen the problems related to the customer loyalty, okay, or what is that, leadership styles. So what are the what are all the studies already available related to the leadership styles in various aspects? Okay, so that is specific issues. And then you can identify the trends in the research through the literature review. And finally, the very important concept where you can derive from the literature review is research gap. Okay, the research gap is almost similar to the statement of the problem. Okay, statement of the problem 50%, okay, fine. So another 50%, how we can fill with this, through this literature review only. So the statement of the problem plus literature review equal to research gap. So once if you find out the research gap, where you will get the research gap? Through proper review of literatures. So to write one article, to write one dissertations, at least the students should refer 25 articles. Students should refer 25 articles to bring out the proper research gap for the study. Okay, you have to detailedly study about all the literatures. So how a literature reviews helps scientists and the readers. Okay, if you look at the reader's point of view, just they can understand how the current state of understanding on a topic, and he or she will decide about whether the particular article will read or not. That is depends upon the readers things. And coming to the scientists, as the researchers, I told you the literature review is very important. They can able to develop their knowledge and understanding in their field, and also they can able to find a research gap for the study, and through that they can identify the new topics of the research. That is depends upon the how you are going to find out the research gap for the study. Next one, why this review of literature is important. So I told you, you have to detailedly read about from the abstract to conclusion. Some people, what they will do, no, the students, just they will look at the abstract only. Based on the abstract, they will start to write the what is that, the literature part. 3 or 4 lines will be completed by seeing the abstract. But that's not a good way to write the literature. You have to thoroughly read and then summarize 4 or 5 lines. Okay, so it is very difficult, the entire 25 pages, 15 pages, 20 pages to bring in the 4 or 5 lines. Okay, but you have to. So that is why you have to get the experience by reading more and more literature review. So the first one, the literature, through literature review, it provides, we can able to understand the interpretation of the existing art literatures, how they have done the interpretation for each and every analysis. And also we can able to identify the similar findings and contradictory findings of the same study. Say for instance, customer loyalty, how the service quality will have significant impact on the brand image. So this is the topic. How many authors have have brought the similar findings of the same study? How many authors have done the contradictory results of the same topic? So all those things we can able to identify through this literature review. And then, and also it indicates the current research place in the scheme of particular field. So while reading more article related to the particular topic, you will come to know what has to be done further. Okay, so that you can keep it as a research gap for the study and proceed further. And also helps in calculating the impact of the latest information. And finally, the ultimate thing is you have to find out the research gap from the literature review. And also you can see how they have done the sentence wise, how they have done, that is provide information for relevancy and the coherency. Not you should not write year wise the literature review. You have to merge with the concepts. Okay, so how the concept they have derived from their literature review. So what is my thing is here, most master degree projects, thesis, MBA level or MCOM level, even doctoral dissertations and journal articles will have a definitely literature reviews for their study. So for a researchers, they have to learn how to write the literature review for their work. Now coming to the next one, types of review of article. Okay, so we have different types of articles, but only thing is we are going to see the literature review, how to write the literature uh, in our study. So we have literature review, systematic reviews, and meta-analysis. So literature reviews we are going to discuss in the forthcoming slides. What is systematic reviews? Systematic reviews will be done in the medicine field. Systematic review will be done in the medicine field because they will be doing thoroughly one by one. Okay, so the studies. Okay, that is very important thing, not related to the social science research. But coming to the meta-analysis, if you take any customer loyalty or brand uh, uh, perception or brand perception or customer satisfaction or employee satisfactions, whatever it is. But the meta analysis, you can find out so far how many studies they have done related to the particular topic. Take any one topic, customer satisfaction. So far, how many studies have done related to the customer satisfaction? That is called meta analysis. Okay, so meta analysis can be performed for in terms of various findings on the same particular topic. Okay, now forget about this systematic reviews and meta-analysis, and today we are going to see how to write a literature review for our study. Now, first one, how to start a literature review. First one is you have to first look at the what is the researcher problem of this. Say for instance, what is the impact of social media on body image among the generation Z? So what is Gen Z? Gen Z, those who are born between 94 to 2010. Okay, so my research question is impact of social media. We all know about what are all the what is the social media? We have what are the apps we have relating to the social media. Now, how to find out the literatures related to the particular questions, okay, research particular area. So what you have to do, you have to find out some of the keywords. Say for instance, social media. So we all know about what are all the social medias which we have already available. Say for instance, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Okay, so these are all the social media we have. TikTok, it's a band, just for example I have given. Then coming to the body image. When coming to the body image, what are the keywords we can give? Self-perception, self-esteem, mental health. Okay, coming to the Gen Z, teenagers, adolescents, and youth. Okay, so these are all the keywords we have to prepare. Then we have to find out the literatures. We have to find out the existing article related to the social medias on body image. Okay, so these are all the sources we have. What is that? Sometimes your university library or in your university library will have some subscriptions about the particular journals. You can subscribe from the university, Scopus database, Web of Science, PubMed, ERIC, Economic Resource and Investment Center, IEEE Explore. Okay, so these are all the sources we have where we can able to get the research article. But as a students, you can get it from the Google Scholar itself. That's fine. Okay, so when you want to deep research, when you want to go into the deep research, then you have to look at all the database to find out the good quality articles. Now, second step is, first one I told you how to collect the literature, and second one is evaluate and select the sources. So how to select the research article? Whether we can select all the research article or only the particular research article? Yes, that is depends upon the title. So you have to select the research article which is pertaining to your research study. Okay, so if you say customer loyalty, only the related to the customer loyalty only you have to find out the articles. Okay, so once if you get the article from the various sources, you have to look at whether the particular studies is addressing our addressing related to our study, and then key concepts, how they are defined the concepts in their studies or which is relevant to our study, everything you have to look at. And similarly, you have to look at the key theories, models, and the methods. Okay, so all those things you have to look at for understanding our enhancement our knowledge related to the research in the particular area. And then how does the publications relate to the other literatures in the field, whether they have published in the good journal. Okay, all those things you have to look at, and then you have to find out what are the strength and the weakness of the research also. So when you select the research article, you have to carefully look at the from top to bottom, whether it is it relevant to my article, will I take it for my study or not, you have to find out. And another important thing is, see, look at here, I have highlighted in the violet color. You can find out how many times an article has been cited on the Google Scholar. If you go to the Google Scholar, at the each and every published article, they will be given number of citations. What is a citation? If anybody referred my work for their study or not. Okay, if someone referred my study, I have mentioned the leadership styles on organization performance. So how many people have looked at the article for their studies? So that is called citation. Okay, if it is I citation, that it will be better, and your work is quality work, which is preparing by the some people for their research work. Okay, so the high citation, if it is a high citations, better, my request is just to take the research article for your study. That is very important. So while doing the research literature review, you have to take your notes also. Okay, what are all the important points we have to be noted for our studies. Okay, so that are all those things you have to just write it in the short format. Then later on you can incorporate all those things in detail in your study. And then coming to the step 3, the themes, debates, and gaps. Okay, so ultimate purpose of doing the literature review is to find out the research gap. Okay, now in that you have to find out the theories. What are the theories they have already done? What are the methods? What kind of analysis they have done already in the earlier literatures? Okay, so what is their results? Who are all given the similar results? Who are all given the contradictory results? All those things we have to look at. And the themes also, whether the particular literatures are relevant to the our study. Okay, so all those things we have to look at, and the conflicts, contradictions, and then gaps. Finally, we have to look at the what is missing from the literature. So for example, if you come across the 25 articles or 30 articles, what is already done, what is yet to be done? So that is the ultimate research gap for your study. So what is already done, that forget about that. What is it to be done, that only we have to take it for the further research. So if you clearly mention the research gap, and definitely your paper will be accepted by the research journals, publishers. Fine. Now, how to write the research gap? How to write the research gap? See, based on they have given social media and body image. In reviewing the literatures on social media and body image, you have to note that you have to first write many research or enormous research or most research has focused on young women. Okay, there is an increasing interest in the visual aspects of social media, because we are all, everybody is using a social media, those are having an Android phone. Okay, but there is still a lack of robust research. You should not say none of the study. You have to mention there is still a lack of robust research on highly visual platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. That is the gap that you could address in your own research. Okay, so there are many studies have already done related to the social media, but using these two apps, Instagram and Snapchat, this is the gap that you could address in your own. So this is the way you have to write the research gap for your study. And then the structure, how the structure will be. I told you the entire 20-25 pages of the one research article you have to bring into the 4 or 5 lines for your study. So likewise, you have to write for the 25 articles. So when you write the literature review for the study, you have to keep it in your mind, and then you have to follow some of the strategies. What are the things to be mentioned in the 4 or 5 lines? Okay, coming to here, Fine. So there are several strategies I have told you. Then coming to this one, first one, introductions you have to write. Introduction. So for instance, Raj 2020. Okay, Raj 2020 examined the relationship between service quality and the brand image. This is the introduction. So just a title. Then he examined using so and so sample. Okay, he found there is a significant impact of service quality on brand image of the company. So this is the way you have to write the literature review. Just for instance, I'm telling. Now, this is a structured literature review where you can include in the 5 or 6 lines, introduction, methods, what kind of methodology they have done, then the body of the content, discussion and conclusions. Okay, so these first four items should be mentioned in the literature review for one article. Likewise, you have to write whatever articles you have come across for your research study. I'm not restricting 5 or 6 lines. It depends upon the study. Even you can write 10 lines also. That's not a problem. Okay. So now, while writing the literature review, the researchers can use any one of the method. One is chronological method, and another one is thematic method. Thematic way of writing the literature. So what is a chronological? Chronological means, students, please keep it in your mind. Chronological means year-wise you can write the literatures. I told you 4 or 5 lines you have to write year-wise. For instance, last 5 years you have taken the research article related to the customer loyalty. Okay, so you can start to write the literature from 2015, 2016, 2017. So if you write like this order-wise from the old one to the new one, that is called chronological literature review. What is a thematic literature review? Thematic means without seeing the order, if you combine, if you write the literature based on the conceptual, based on the concept, then it is called thematic literature review. I think if you look at this slide, you'll come to know what is chronological and the thematic. Chronological, you can write order year-wise, but don't write just for namesake. Okay, you have to highlight some of the points while writing the chronological literature. And thematic means based on the concept. Okay, so you can combine the concept, you can combine the results of one study with the another studies. Okay, so likewise you have to do if you're doing the thematic based literature writing. Okay, say for instance, under the thematic, if you are reviewing the literatures about inequality in migrant health outcomes, the key themes might include healthcare policy, language barriers, cultural attitudes, legal status, and economic access. So for each theme, you can write the literature review, not in chronological order, based on the concept. And this is the example I have taken from the article, how the thematic way of writing the literatures will be. See, look at here. Here you cannot see the chronological order. See here 2007, 1988, 1992, 1988. See, they have done the literature review. They have written the literature review based on the concept. Just they are comparing with one study with the another studies. Coming to the next one, chronological order. What is that here? If you look at the 2.1, the relationship between oil prices and economic growth. So first one 2010, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017. So this is the chronology year-wise. If you write the literature year-wise, then it is called chronological order. Fine. And this is the finally, I told you the end of the literature, you have to find out the research gap. So look at here, the research gap. After reviewing the related studies, the earlier studies devoted to the investigation, the impact of oil prices on economic variables, we can say that the oil price shocks has significant impact on the economic variables for oil-rich economies. In the outcomes of the above mentioned studies, there is a few study. I told you, you should not mention none of the study. there is a few studies related to the relationship between oil prices and economic variables in the case of Azerbaijan. Okay, so this is the way you have to bring the research gap from the literature. Okay, just for instance, I have given in this slide. Fine. Apart from the review of literatures, if you want to if you want to give a strong supportical evidence, you can add the theories also. The theories means which is already developed by someone in the earlier days. So I have given related to the based on the specialization, finance, marketing, and HR. If you look at the finance, we have modern portfolio theory, arbitrage pricing theory, efficient market hypothesis. Okay, so whether if your study is related to the particular theory, or if you want to test this theory for your study, then you can take this particular theory for your study, so that it will be strengthening your existing studies. Okay, you're strengthening the supporting documents for your study. Okay, so this is very important. I have given only I'll give only one example here. Arbitrage pricing theory. Actually, there is one of the most famous theory in finance, arbitrage pricing theory. It was developed by Stephen Ross in 1976. What he actually stated in his theory is stock market. Stock market is not only influenced by the single factors. We cannot say GDP alone is influencing the movement of Sensex and Nifty. There are multiple factors which is influencing in the movement of the stock market. So if you want to test really by taking various factors, GDP, exchange rate, inflation, then you can obviously test the arbitrage pricing theory. So this is what they have mentioned in the work. Okay, so you can include the theories also. Fine. And coming to the next one, in the theories, we have the citations. Okay, the authors you have to, so where you are taking the article, from which article you are taking, you have to mention the author name. So here we have seen Berment et al. 2010. So here like that, when you write the literature review, you have to cite the author name. Suppose if it is one author, you have to mention Lizardo 2021. Okay, so if it is a two authors, you have to write Wegner and Petty 1994. Within bracket you have to write. Suppose in case more than three authors, if it is a three authors, you have to mention eight all. Eight all you have to mention if it is more than three authors. Okay, the last name of the first author you have to mention. Okay, Kernis et al. 1993. In case if you are taking the data from the any report, in that case you have to write according to the American Psychological Association, according to the ASOCHAM, according to the NASCOM report. Like that you have to mention. You can refer this link also for knowing about how to do the citations for the research article. And these are all the drafting the pitfalls to avoid while writing the literature review. You should avoid the unprofessional languages, and you should not copy the same whatever they have done in the earlier article. You should not copy from the same to your study, and finally you will be in trouble while checking the plagiarism. Okay, and then you should avoid too many quotations. I told you one author, two author, three author means how to write, and avoid too many quotations while writing the literature review. And lack of fluency. So you have to bring some fluency in the literature review itself. Don't give paragraph wise. Okay, just connect with each and every article according to their similar findings or contradictory results like that. Okay, so that bring connections between one research article to the another research article. Fine. Coming to the next one, after finding the research gap, the research model you have to frame. Research model or research framework. Okay, so when you before doing the research model, first you have to understand which one is the dependent and which one is the independent variable. Okay, now look at the arrow mark where this arrow mark is moving towards from left side to the right side. So here left side oil price. Oil price is an independent variable. The dependent variable is macroeconomic variable. So which means what is the impact of oil price on macroeconomic variables such as GDP. GDP means gross domestic product, exchange rate, consumer price index, and exports. Okay. So when you have a dependent and independent variable, you can create the model for your research study. Likewise, you can create the research model for the service quality. Okay, service quality. So service quality will have a significant impact on the brand image, customer satisfaction. So in that case, the dependent variable will be brand image, customer satisfaction. What is the independent variable? Service quality. Okay. Now coming to the another research model, if you look at this research model, suppose if you have more than one independent variable, if you have more than two independent variable, then you have to frame like this. See GDP. This is the another study. This is the another model. How these four macroeconomic variable have significant impact on the stock market. Whether these four macroeconomic variable are significantly impact on the stock market or not. Okay, this is tentatively we have to frame this research model like this. GDP stock market, exchange rate stock market, consumer price index stock market, export and stock market. Okay, so this individually we have to connect with the dependent variable. At last, finally, we have to test after getting the analysis whether it is a whether all the independent variable have significant impact on the stock market or not. These things we can able to confirm after getting the results from the analysis. Okay, so just I have given for the example. Accordingly, you have to apply for your studies also. So for that, you have to identify which one is the independent variable and which one is the dependent variable. So without a dependent and independent variable, we cannot do any empirical test, empirical study. Okay, fine. Then research questions. So how to frame the research questions? So the research questions must contain all the criteria. So I just look at the last one. Does the influence of oil, first we have seen one model, oil price towards the macroeconomic variables. So how the questions we have to frame for research questions we have to frame for the study? Does the influence of oil price on economic variables such as GDP, exchange rate, consumer price index and export? Okay, so you have to frame the research questions like this, and then based on the research questions, we have to write the research objectives. So it should not be, it should be the same, but that is a questionable format, and this is the objectives format. So when you start to write the objectives, please initiate the beginning word to understand, to analyze, to identify. Okay, so here the objective is based on the previous model, previous research question, to check the impact of oil price on economic variables such as GDP, exchange rate, CPI and export. This is the objective. Now look at the relativeness. Okay, so it's a sequence should be there. First one, I have done the research gap. Based on the research gap, we have to frame the research model. Then based on the research model, we have to prepare the research questions, and then followed by research objectives, then hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Any just quick answer I'm expecting from you all. What is hypothesis? First, can post your answer in the chat box. Yes. What is hypothesis? Just one line. I have given the answer. In the slide itself, I have given the answer. Yes, very good. Assumption. Yeah, hypothesis, it's an assumption or tentative statements. Okay, so whether we don't know whether it will cause or not, it may happen or may not happen. Okay, just we are assuming for our study. At the end of the results, we'll be selecting any one statement. Okay, assumption. So normally the hypothesis will be divided into two. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis means there is no difference. There is no difference. There is no equal relationship between the sales and advertisement. Okay, no relationship between oil and economic variables. Okay, so alternative means there is a relationship. There is a significant impact of one variable on the another variable. Okay, so null and alternative hypothesis like this we have to prepare, but finally we have to select any one hypothesis. And here I want to say one thing: when you prepare the hypothesis, you must do the analysis. You must do the analysis to prove this hypothesis. Okay, not any kind of analysis. The analysis should be based on the objectives of the study. Okay, whatever objective you are preparing for your study, that the analysis should meet the objectives of the study. That is the main thing. And coming to the next one, yeah, very important thing is research methodology. I think you people, the MBA MCOM students might have come across this subject, research methodology. Fine. Okay, so the research methodology, it's a backbone of the any research, any dissertations or project or PhD level, whatever it is, your research methodology will speak entirely about your work, what you have done. Yes, I think I have received a question from Rakshita. Analysis based on the objective house. Yeah. See, for instance, I'll tell you in the forthcoming slides how the analysis based on the objective. So each and you cannot analyze, you cannot put all the analysis for your study. That should meet your objective. For instance, suppose if you are finding the relationship between the sales and advertisement. So what kind of analysis you can able to do to find out the relationship between sales and advertisement? Correlation analysis. You cannot apply regression analysis. You cannot apply ANOVA. You cannot apply chi-square test. So to find out the relationship, you must apply correlation analysis. Understand? So there is a purpose for each and every analysis. You must, as a researcher, as a student, you must understand what is the purpose of analysis. Based on that, you have to do the analysis for your study. And then here, look at your research methodology. There are two kinds of studies we are going to see. One is questionnaire based research and another one is secondary based research. What is a questionnaire based research? Suppose if you are taking data from the respondents. So I told you the customer loyalty, service quality, how the service quality have impact on the customer satisfaction. How do you know about all those things? By distributing the questionnaires to the customers, respondents, then we can able to collect the data from the respondents. So that is questionnaire based research. Coming to the secondary data based research, without the secondary means it is purely applicable for the finance students. Okay, secondary data based research. Suppose if you're not taking any questionnaire based studies, suppose we are taking published data. Say for instance, RBI, BSc or NSC, if you're taking any data related to the stock market, then it is called secondary data based research. In that case, what are the things to be followed? Suppose if you are taking HR, marketing students and all, definitely they will be using questionnaire based research. What is that? The first one, they have to use description of the variables used. What is a variable? Variable means it can be measured anything, in terms of quantitative. For instance, age, gender, height, weight. These are all the variables. Suppose if you're how many variables you're going to use for your study. So that you have to detail you have to give in the research methodology chapter. And then instruments or questionnaire used. Okay, so questionnaire, whether you have used your developed questionnaire or someone you adopted from the any sources. Okay, so you have to mention instruments, what kind of questionnaire you have used. Okay, and then sampling methods. What is sampling methods? We have a probability and non-probability sampling methods. I think you might have come across in the quantitative techniques or statistics subjects. When we have to apply probability, when we have to apply non-probability sampling. Sampling, it's a process of getting the data from the respondents. Okay, now which
Sir, I think your video and audio are paused, sir. Satish, sir. Guys, I hope there is some technical problem. Yes, guys, I think sir is rejoining again because of the network problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. See, I hope the session is going on very much interesting. Yes, everyone, because sir is
Yes,
guiding
ma'am.
the
Yes,
dissertation
ma'am.
you'll be doing, how you can convert that into an article. I hope you are noting down the points also in that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir is back. Satish, sir? Yeah. Sir is back. Sir will continue with the session.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me share the screen.
So you can continue, sir.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Let me share the screen.
Okay, sir. Okay, now once again, I hand over the session to research person, Dr. Satish P. Sir. Sir, you can go ahead, sir.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, can you able to see the screen? No, right? Okay.
No, sir. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, it has started
Yeah,
with screen share now.
yeah, fine, fine.
I'll let you know once it's visible, sir. It is coming as
Yeah.
yeah, sir. It's visible now, sir. Please continue.
Yeah, fine. Sorry for the interruption because of poor connection here. Fine. So sampling methods we have seen probability and non-probability when we have to apply probability and when we have to apply non-probability sampling that we have to understand. And then determination of sample size. So how to determine the sample size from the population? So there is either you can use a formula. We have a standard formula for sample size, or you can use a thumb rule for determining the sample size. That is 1:3. For each and every questions which you framed in the questionnaire, 10 samples you have to collect. Okay. Say for instance, 20 questions, 20 into 10, how much? 200 respondents you have to collect. Okay. So data collection. So data collection in overall the ultimate respondents for your study. And then mention the areas or region where the data is collected. Okay, what are all the areas you have covered to collect the data? All those things you have mentioned in the research methodology. This is only applicable for those who are doing questionnaire based survey. Okay, coming to the secondary based research, if you're doing any secondary data based research in finance, you have to again you have to explain about the variables used in your study, and then sources of data collection where you have taken the data. That should be authenticated one. Okay, not from a money control Yahoo Finance and all. If you take money control Yahoo Finance and all, it will not be accepted. Okay, I'll show it in the next slide. Next slide. What are all the authenticated sources? And you have to mention the frequency of data. Okay, whether you have used daily data, weekly data, monthly data, or quarterly data, etc. And time period. How many years you are going to take for your study, whether it's a 5-year study or 2-year study, 10-year studies like that. And then econometric model. Okay, so if you take secondary data, please go with the econometric model, especially for the time series based study. Okay, secondary data we can otherwise known as time series data. Okay, so if you use questionnaire based research, use a statistical test. If you use secondary data based research, please go with the econometric model. Okay, and these are all the authenticated sources for secondary data based. I'm not talking about the primary, that is a questionnaire based research. This is secondary data based research. Bloomberg, CMA, Center for Monitoring the Indian Economy, Thomson Reuters. You can I think these are all the paid database. Okay, it's a highly expensive database when compared with the uh, CME database. And this is BSc and NSC Reserve Bank of India and all. You can get free data. You can download it from the BSc and NSC if you are very much interested to do the research in the area of stock market, mutual funds and all. You can get it from these database. So these are all the authenticated sources. And this is the ends. For instance, I have given how to write the research methodology. Likewise, you have to write. I'll share the PPT. And then coming to the next one, analysis and interpretation. See, analysis is very important that meet the objective of the study. Without analysis, we cannot execute the entire research work. So interpretation is the search for the broader meaning of findings. Analysis is not fulfilled without the interpretation, and interpretation cannot proceed with the analysis. So these are all the interconnectable. Okay, so both are interdependent. So what is that here? Coming to the here analysis, when you do the analysis, that is a questionnaire based research, you first understand the measurement of scale. Okay, so before preparing the questionnaires for your study, you have to understand what type of scale we are going to use. Okay, that depends upon the questions: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. Let me share the research questions, how to prepare the questionnaire. Yeah, fine. Let me finish this measurement of scale, then we'll move on to the questionnaire. Okay. So here, the scale, measurement of scale means it is assigning number to the each and every options in the scale. But look at the types of scale. We have nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. What is the nominal scale? How it will be? Nominal scale is name classification. Say for instance, gender. Gender, how can we measure gender? Either male or female. Okay. So if it is a name classification, that is called nominal scale. Ordinal means there should be name plus order. Okay, name should be, name also will be there, plus order also will be there. That is called ordinal scale. Interval scale means there should be some equal interval will be there. For example, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. What is the difference? 1. Okay, so then ratio scale. Now we'll go with the example each and every scale. Nominal scale, I told you, name classifications. Gender, male, female. What is your hair color can be measured: brown, black, gray, others, etc. And do you like the fruits? Okay, how can we measure do you like the fruits? We can measure only yes or no, or like or dislike. We cannot mention highly satisfied, dissatisfied. We cannot mention all those scales here. Okay, coming to the next one, ordinal scale. Ordinal scales, I told you, there should be some order. There should be some order here. Rank the following attributes while choosing a restaurant for dinner. Okay, so these are all the criteria: food quality, prices, menu variety, ambience, service. Okay, so here, so you have to rate based on these attributes. Okay, so which one you can give first rank, which one you can give second rank, like that. And similarly, the education. Education, the order wise 10th, 12th, UG, PG, MPhil, like that. And coming to the next one, interval scale. There should be some equal interval. You can look at here the Celsius. Okay, so here before that, how do you feel today? You can apply the 5-point Likert scale here. Very unhappy, unhappy, okay, happy, very happy. These are all the 5-point Likert scale. Then how satisfied are you with our service? Okay, so if you use 5-point Likert scale, then it is called interval scale. What is a ratio scale? Ratio scale, for instance, income, age. Okay, sometimes income also coming under the ordinal scale. Okay, so ratio scale, when you go for the software analysis, There you cannot find out the ratio scale, but the incomes, age, and all comes under the ratio scale, height, weight, etc. Okay, now these are all the different types of scales we have seen. Okay, now I told you before choosing the statistical test, these scales are very, very important. If it is a nominal and ordinal scale, what kind of analysis we have to choose? If it is an interval and a ratio scale, what kind of analysis we have to go? So here, the nominal and ordinal scale, we can call it as non-metric data. So what is non-metric data? Because we cannot find out the average. Can you able to find out the uh, average male of the students sitting in the classroom? Can you able to find out the average age of the male students? You cannot find out. Okay, so you can say only the exact count. Okay, so that is why that is called, this is non-metric data. Okay, what is interval and ratio scale? Metric data. We can able to find out the average age of the students, average income of the employees. Okay, so this is the difference between these two things. And now statistical test. Choosing the statistical test depends on three criteria. One is what kind of data it will be, whether it is a primary data or secondary data, and sample size, whether it is a small sample or large samples, and then purpose of study. Okay, so what is the purpose of the study? Based on that, we will apply the statistical test. Now coming to the next one, when we talk about the analysis, you have to think about three kind of words. One is univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. Univariate means only one variable. If you use only one variable for your study, then it is called univariate variable. Second one is bivariate. When you use two variable for the study, then it is called bivariate variable. Multivariate, suppose if you're using more than two variables for the study, then it is called multivariable study. Coming to here, you under univariate analysis, what kind of analysis can be done if you use univariate variable? Only one, sir, I have only one variable. What kind of analysis I can able to do? Yes, so that variable, whether it is a categorical variable or metric variable. I told you categorical variable means nominal and ordinal. Nominal and ordinal is called categorical variable. Interval and ratio is called metric variable. Sorry, metric variable. Here, categorical, suppose if you have a gender, suppose if you want to find out any analysis using a gender, you can only apply frequency statistics, male or female. The metric, suppose if it is a metric interval and ratio scale, you can analyze mean and the standard deviation. What is a mean? Average. Standard deviation means the deviations between series from the arithmetic mean. So customer satisfaction can be measured by mean and the standard deviation. Understand? So this is these kind of analysis we can perform only for univariate analysis. And also there are, apart from that, percentage analysis and mean and standard deviation. Some of the analysis also can be performed if it is a metric variable. Metric means interval and ratio. You can do central tendency, mean, median, mode, variations, standard deviation, range, percentage, distributions, normal. These are all the plots. Normal distribution curve can be performed using this metric variable. Coming to the categorical variable, only you can do the frequencies. The percentage analysis you can do the using a gender, all those things. Then plots, I can apply pie chart, bar chart, all those things you can apply using the categorical variable. So that is why I'm telling, first you have to understand what kind of scale it is. Okay, whether it is a nominal, ordinal, ratio, interval. Based on that, we have to choose a statistical test. That is what is explaining. And then bivariate analysis. I told you bivariate analysis, if you have a two variable. Suppose if you want to find out the relationship between the two variables, suppose if you want to find out association between the variables, see, relationship means you must analyze the correlation analysis. Association means you must use chi-square test. Okay, so these terms are very, very important. Once if you see these terms, we can able to find out which analysis is suitable for this kind of terms. Whether there is any impact of independent variable on dependent variable. So this is, you can apply regression analysis. And then differences, whether there are difference between two variables. So you can go for the ANOVA, analysis of variance, or independent sample t-test. Okay. Now, there are three types of bivariate analysis. I think those are learning first time, it will be little confused. Okay, just keep it as a learning point and then you can understand all those things. I hope you understand whatever I'm explaining. If you have any doubt, you can ask at the end of the session. Two categorical variable, two metric variable, one categorical and one metric variable. Sir, if you have these, suppose I have two categorical variable, what kind of analysis I can do? Look at here. Look at here. Just I'm just continuing with the previous slides. Two categorical variable. Two categorical means nominal and ordinal. So here income level we can say ordinal variable because 0 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20,000, 20,000 to 30,000, that is income level. Then job cadre, assistant professor, associate professor, professor. Okay, that is job cadre. This is nominal. So nominal and ordinal. Then if you have so this is also income level, sometimes also nominal, categorical variable. So this is these both variables or belongs to categorical variable. We have to apply chi-square test. In SPSS, they will not be given chi-square test directly. Instead of that, we have to use crosstab. Understand? Now, second one is two metric data. Suppose if you have a two metric variable, for instance, customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction can be measured highly satisfied, nor satisfied, dissatisfied, 5-point Likert scale. And similarly, quality of service provided also we can apply 5-point Likert scale. So that is why this is these two variables or belongs to metric data. Then we have to go for correlation analysis. Okay, and regression analysis. Coming to the next one categorical variable, one metric data. See here, gender is nominal. Level of income is, this is also categorical variable. So look at here in the gender plus job satisfaction. Suppose if we are comparing with the categorical and metric variable, gender is the categorical variable, metric is the job satisfaction, this is metric variable. Then you can apply independent sample t-test. Independent sample t-test. And another example, the level of income and job satisfaction, because the people will be satisfied based on the level of income. If you want to compare this, then you can apply analysis of variance, one-way analysis. So like this, you have to look at the scales which are prepared in the question. Accordingly, we have to apply the analysis. And coming to the multivariate analysis, suppose if you are using more than 2 or 3 variables, suppose if you are using 5 variables, when you go for the advanced level, MPhil, PhD level and all, when you definitely will apply more than 2 or 3 variables, you have to use multivariate analysis. But MBA point of view or MCOM students, you can apply any bivariate analysis, or if you want to, if you have interest, you can apply more than 2 variables also. So what are all the things comes under multivariate analysis? And these are all the multivariate analysis. Just for your glance, just look at dependence methods and interdependence method. What is the dependence means? Some variables depends on other variables. Okay, interdependent means no independent, no dependent variable. In that case, these are all the analysis you can perform. Say for instance, dependence method. One dependent variable, several independent variable. In case only one dependent variable means you can apply multiple regression analysis. Okay, suppose several dependent variable means you can apply MANOVA, multivariate analysis of variance. Okay, so just for your understanding, no need to look at the multivariate analysis. We'll move on to the next slide. And this is structure equation modeling. This is higher level. Yes. The another very important thing is points to be noted. See, I told you the analysis should meet the objectives of the study. You cannot apply. See, even what the students will do generally, objectives will be mentioned different, but analysis they have done something irrelevant to the objectives. But you should not do like that. You will be in the trouble at the during the viva hours. Okay, so suppose if you are finding the relationship or associations between the 2 or 3 variables, you must apply chi-square test. You cannot apply regression analysis. Understand? And take only the relevant table which highlights the findings of your study. So sometimes, you know, the students, whatever output they are getting from the software, just they will copy and paste it in the Word document. But you should not do like that. Only the important table, which represent the findings of the study, that you have to mention in the Word document. And similarly, don't copy the output and paste it in the Word document. You have to create the table and enter the values whatever you are getting from the output in the software, and present neatly the output in the table format. So why I'm telling all those things, your research methodology and data analysis is very, very important for your research, what you have done. Okay, and then after the data analysis, coming to the findings should be based on the analysis, not generalized findings. You cannot write the findings in generalized way. So you should not deviate from your study. So the findings should be related to the objectives of the study. Okay, so everything interconnected. Everything, all the content is depends on one and another. Okay, so findings should be related to the objective of the study, and suggestions. Coming to the suggestions is very important. Suggestions, or we can see implications, should provide based on the findings of the study. Okay, so everything. So once if you done the findings, then you have to start the write the implication that is based on the findings what you have found in your research. So both findings and implications should not be generalized statements. You should not deviate from your study. So whatever study customer loyalty means, you have to write the implications based on the findings of the customer loyalty. You cannot write something which is irrelevant to your study. So implication is very, very important. That provides valuable insights to the society, government, or even to the company. It depends upon the study what you're doing the research. And coming to the next one, conclusion. So the conclusion, whatever, so conclusion, again, it's a short summary of your study along with the findings, along with the limitations. Okay, so in the conclusion part, you have to write what is your objectives, what you have found in your study. Okay, so what is the limitations you have faced in your research work, what are the areas you can be done further in the future research. Okay, so all those things you have to mention in the conclusion part, just one paragraph, that is fine. And then this is a short summary. This is no need actually. If you want, you can represent like this. Okay, so summary of empirical studies in the literature. So whatever literatures you have done, that is you can bring out in the tabular format, authors, time period, country, methods, and results. This is no need, just to forget about this. And then references. This is very important. You have to cite the references, whatever articles you have come across in your research work. Okay, so I think I told you 25 articles you have to refer for writing one research article, for doing a dissertations, both MBA as well as the MCOM students. You have to refer any one citation style, MLA, APA, Chicago A, Chicago B, but the authenticated one is APA. So you can use APA style, that is American Psychological Association. That's not, this is very simple. You can get it from the Google Scholar itself. Okay, I'll show it to you after finishing this session. And then references. This is the APA style. You have to write the author name, then within bracket when the article was published, then title of the article, the name of the journal, International Journal of Energy Economics and Policies, Then 44 means that is issue number. Okay, issue number and then page number. This is APA format, APA styles. No need to type everything. Just put it in the Google Scholar. It will get in the bottom of each and every article. You just click the citations. You will get copy and paste it in the Word document. Okay, no need to type and don't waste the time also. And then this is okay, fine. The another important thing is after completed all the works. After completed all the, am I audible? Am I audible? Can you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The next here, the plagiarism checking. So after completing all the documents which is relevant to your work, you have to go for plagiarism checking. What is a plagiarism? You have to follow some ethical. You have to follow some ethics in your work. You should not copy from someone. You should not copy from some other books. You should not copy from research article, the existing research article. Okay, so if you copy from some other sources, then you are not following the ethical standards. So do at least just follow some ethical things. Okay, and the term plagiarism denotes illegal or unauthorized use of someone else's work and passes it off under their names. Okay, just a copy from some article or some sources, just put it your name instead of them. Okay, only the name only they will be removed. The students even we are all seeing every semester. Just simply the students copy from some other sources and they remove the name alone, just put their name. That is completely illegal. You cannot use the another works. So the plagiarism is the stealing of intellectual properties. Copying of any artwork, written piece, blogs, and PowerPoint presentation is illegal, and these can give rise to instance of plagiarism. Okay, there is one software is called, there are so many softwares we have to check the plagiarism, whether the students are really done the original work or copied from some other databases. Okay, so to how many percentage we can copy from some other articles. Okay, as a students, I can suggest you can copy up to 20%. If you go for the PhD level or MPhil level and all, they will accept only 10% plagiarism. 90% you have to write it on your own words. Okay, 20% can be allowed to the students. 20% you can copy from some other sources, and 80% of the sentences should be your own words. Okay, so there is one of the famous software is called Turnitin software, plagiarism checking. If you put it in the article in the Turnitin software, then it will show how many percentage it is showing the similarity index. It is, if it is less than 20% means if you are fine, you are in the safest zone. If it is more than 20% means then your project, your dissertation work will be rejected. Okay, so for that, this software will be using to check the plagiarisms. Okay, fine. When the plagiarism happens, okay, the lack of knowledge or creativity, when the students doesn't have interest to do all those things on their own, just simply copy from some other sources and put it in the project dissertation. So lack of knowledge, then the students does not have a time to do the project work, and then no proper planning, laziness. Generally, it will be there with all the students, a laziness. Okay, some of them, not all the students, some of the students will be having. Because of that, also the plagiarism will be improved in your work. Boring assignments. So I think some people, for namesake itself, they will be doing. Okay, unfamiliar topic they will be taken to do the work. So that is boring assignments. So they will be thinking just copy from some other sources and put it in the work. And expectation of the teachers too high. Generally, the teachers' expectations will be very high. Then the students will definitely meet the teachers' expectation. At least the students will show their capacity on their work. So that is because of these reasons, the plagiarisms definitely will happen in their work. And then the levels and the penalties of the plagiarism, this is not for you. This is the, when you go for the next level, PhD and all, the acceptance level. See, look at here, up to 10%. Up to 10 percentage if it is a plagiarism for your work, then no penalty. No penalty. If suppose 10 to 40 percentage, you have to modify and submit to the work. This is not for you MBA and MCOM level. This is for the next level, PhD level. So just make sure that you should have less than 20 percentage plagiarism on your work. This is fine. So this is the software we have. You can check in the online also, but don't use online plagiarism checking, because once if it is saved, you cannot again do the plagiarism in some other software. Please make sure that it will automatically save. If you use some software, again if you go for some other software to check the plagiarism, again it will show the more number of percentage similarity index, because since it is saved already, it will be showing the number of percentage similarity index will be increased. That is the thing. And that's all. And let me show how to prepare the questionnaire. Those are preparing, those are doing, those are going to do the project in the area of marketing and HR. So, let me share the questionnaire.
Okay, so students, so firstly, sir, we had very interesting and informative session, sir. Thank you, sir. So I
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute, ma'am. 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute, ma'am, please.
1 minute.
Let me share the questionnaire. Then.
This will be what is done.
Yeah, it is open. And for your study, you have to prepare the questionnaire according to your. I think you can able to see the questionnaire. This is one student, MBA student, done the questionnaire for their study. Impact of brand perceived quality and awareness on brand loyalty. A case study on shampoo. So they have taken shampoo product. In that they have done this title. Okay, so first one, the first 6 questions. Now you have to answer. I'm just expecting the answer from you all at the chat box. Be ready. Let me open the chat box. Gender. Okay, so these up to 6 questions, which is pertaining to the demographic profile of the respondents. Demographic profile of the respondents. Now tell me, first one, gender. Okay, now gender coming under the which scale? We have seen 4 types of scale. Now tell me, just post your answer in the chat box. Gender belongs to which scale? Yes. Yes. No answer. Am I audible? Can you able to follow me? Do you understand my question or not?
Sir, can you repeat it the question, sir?
Yeah. Gender. I have given the first question is gender. See, let me explain again. First 6 question, whatever prepare, which is pertaining to the demographic profile of the respondents. Okay, so first one, when you whatever it is, when you prepare the questionnaire, first you have to prepare certain questions for representing the respondents, for details of the respondents. Now the first question, prepare gender. Gender can be measured by male or female. This is belongs to which kind of scale? Whether it is a nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Yes, we have discussed just now. Yes, nominal. Very good. Why you are thinking too? How long? But you are thinking too long. Okay. Now coming to the next one, age category. age category. This is belongs to which scale? You can say ordinal. Okay, because order is 18 to 25, 26 to 35. Very good. 36 to 45. Now, monthly income. Monthly income also it is ordinal. Order wise it is there. Categorical variable. Next, this is just, yeah, anyone tell me, please specify the brand you use for the shampoo. Is it open-ended or closed-ended question? Is it open-ended or closed-ended questions? What is a closed? Closed-ended means if you give options. See here, I have asked age. I restricted only these 4 options. Yeah, open-ended because we don't know which kind of how many shampoo brand how many products are available pertaining to the shamps. Okay, so that's why the student given the brand which used for the shampoo products, that is open-ended. And please mention your most preferred color for your shampoo products: white, pink, cream, brown, other colors. Which is scale? This one, nominal or ordinal? Open-ended, finished. Next, fifth question. Is it a nominal or ordinal? See, name class. Look at the name classification. So all the options are in the name. Okay, white, name, pink, cream. Okay, so this is nominal scale. Please mention your most preferred fragrance for your shampoo products: rose, jasmine, sandalwood. This is also nominal scale. Okay, so why this is very important, nominal, ordinal, interval? Because choosing the statistical test. To choose the statistical test, these scales are very, very important. That is questionnaire based survey. Coming to the next one, to measure the brand loyalty. To measure the brand loyalty, the question has been prepared from 7 to 16. 7 to 16. Look at first one, seventh question. I believe that I am loyal to brand use. I believe that I am loyal to brand use. Strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. This is kind of which scale? Yes, anyone? Is a which scale? Is ordinal, nominal, interval scale? Which kind of scale this one? Very good. Interval scale. Interval scale always we have to use 5-point Likert scale. Okay. So this is the way you have to prepare the questionnaire. Whatever it is, okay, whether it is a 10 question, 15 question, 20 questions, that's fine. Okay. But you have to prepare the questions according to your title of the study. Okay. So with this, let me complete my presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Dear students, now it's time for any kind of a questions which you want sir to answer for that.
Presentation of
His mistake is doing this one. Hey, Satish is out it seems. He wants to be letting.
Ooh.
Wait. Satish sir, are you there? Just ask him.
Satish sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
He's there. Sir, you are connected.
yes, any questions you can ask because we are
Students,
all going to do the
questions?
project. Yes. So you don't have any questions to ask. Otherwise, I'll ask question.
Oh,
Which one
yeah,
is more
if
comfortable?
you are not asking questions, sir will ask the question now. So you're most welcome to ask questions to our students.
Yeah, just let me check how far you understand from this session. Yes, I think I got one questions.
So we have one question in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
So can I read it for you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's a question from Nishmita, who is asking, in literature, review of literature, should we include cited, yes or no?
Yes, you can. Very good
No,
question,
like
actually.
no, sorry, I'll just correct it. In review literature, should we include the cited number or ISN number?
No need, no need. I think ISN number and all, not ISN number, that is IASS number. ISSN number. International Standard Serial Number. Okay. You should not include all those things in the article. No need. Only the page number, issue number, all those things you have to mention in the references. And here, no need to type everything. Just go to the Google Scholar. 1 minute. Let me show that also. Just 1 minute. Go to the Google Scholar. Let me share the screen. Yeah, can you all able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Google Scholar. Go to the Google Scholar. Just typing my article. For example, Satish and Satish Srinivasan. This is my thing. See here. I told you, no, this is the article. From this database, we can download the few of the article or many articles related to the title. So here I have done the research performance evaluation of selected open-ended mutual fund schemes in India. Okay, so this is the author, the journal name here also mentioned. Here cited by 6. So there are 6 members, 6 researchers have cited my work for their study. This is the citation. Now, references, how to take the references of this article. Just click on this double quotation. After click, you will get MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, all those things. Okay, now only these things is enough to copy. Just copy and paste it in the reference page. That's so where you cannot find out in ISSN number and all, no need to mention these references. That's it. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. We have another one question by Ms. Sanjana, who wants to know how many pages should we have to write in the literature review?
Yeah, don't look at the, see, my humble request is don't look at the number of pages. How many articles, if you can go through, and so that you can able to get the exact research gap for your study. So whatever literatures you are going through, just put it in your dissertation. Okay, so no, don't look at the number of pages. So I told you, no, for if you're doing any research article or dissertation work, 25 research article, that's fine. 20 or 25 research article. Yes.
Oh, any other questions, guys? Okay. So we have another one question by Madhu. Sir, how many questionnaires to prepare for an academic project?
Yeah, that is also depends upon the the study. Okay, suppose whatever questions it is we can able to ask related to the study. Say for instance, again I'm repeating a brand loyalty, employee satisfaction, emotional intelligence. Okay, so whatever questions we can ask the respondents related to the title, you can prepare. So for instance, 15, 20 questions, except a demographic profile. Demographic profile, say for instance 5-6 questions you have to ask. After that, at least 15 questions that should be measure your the title of the study. So 15, 20, more than 20 questions are welcome. So more than 20 questions, it's a fine for the academic projects.
So like just I think he's asking how many questionnaires to be prepared for an academic project.
Questionnaire means one questions or questionnaire.
Questionnaire.
Questionnaire means only one.
Hmm.
Questionnaire means which contains all the questions related to the study.
Yes, sir. He's asking how many questionnaire. Can we prepare more
Question,
than
not questionnaire. That is a questions.
yes,
Not questionnaire. That
he's
is a
not asking
questions.
questions, sir. He's asking set of questions. If, for example, 10 questions, we'll have it in one questionnaire. Yeah. So he's
Yes.
asking how
Yes.
many questionnaire can be prepared for an
Only
academic.
one enough. Only one is fine. One is fine. That represent about your title of the study. That's it. One set of questionnaire is fine. That has to be represent your entire study. Okay, so that has to be fulfilled your objective of the study. So for that, you have to prepare the questionnaire.
Okay, sir. So, any other questions?
Any other questions? So in future, you have to publish your dissertation work that you have to convert it to the research article and you have to publish along with your faculty. Okay, so along with your guide, dissertation guide. So that has to be represented in the Google Scholar. Understand? So that you can get more citations and then that will be benefits to you as well as your the dissertation guide. So I hope I'm expecting this will continue for your future also. If you have any doubt, you can.
So we have
can
one more question, sir.
yes, ma'am.
So, okay. So for review literature, should we include only the reader's point of view? We should collect the data, or even the researchers who has already done even from their point of view, we should take it, sir.
From their point of view only we have to take that. Actually, the customer loyalty is already done by someone. What is their findings from their study? That we have to take it and put it in the literature part. Okay, what is that? What is their title and what is their findings? How many sample size they have taken? Okay, all those things we have to take it and write it in the literature part.
So, okay. Any other question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can contact if you have any.
The participant is asking, sir, can we contact you if you have any confusion in future?
Yeah, you can contact. I'm ready to help you all. You can contact at any point of time. I have given only the number. I'll share my email ID also here. You can post any questions related to the dissertations or whatever it is.
Okay.
I'll post it here itself.
Sir's contact number and email address.
Yeah, 1 minute, ma'am. Let me post it in the chat box itself. This is my personal email. Not easy. Yes, ma'am. Any other thing? I have posted my mail ID in the chat box. You just take it from that.
In introduction.
Yeah, I'm getting too many questions.
Yes, sir. Many questions lined up. So can I ask them, sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So like
No problem.
the first one is company profile should be included in introduction chapter or it should be a separate chapter?
Yeah, company profile you can include along with the industry profile, but those who got the company, they can must add the industry and the company profile. If you don't have, if you're not doing the dissertation work in the company, you have to just include the sector, which is belongs to your study, that you have to attach. Suppose if you're doing a stock market related work for your dissertation, you must attach the stock market about the origin of the stock market in India. All those things will be attached separately. You have to attach industry profile and company profile.
Okay. So the next question is there any difference between academic dissertation and research article?
Yeah, almost same, not that much difference. The difference is there, but the academic dissertation, the students has to do it in the company and get some results from that. But research article, generally they will be collecting the data from their context, okay, from the respondents, from the customers, from the employees, okay, all those things. But little difference is there. But what I am trying to say here is, whatever you are doing in the academic dissertations, just after finishing your MBA Viva, just convert it to the research article and publish along with your faculty. Okay, so that will be most benefit, and your research work also will be continued. Okay, so just don't do it for the MBA Viva only, just do it for the future purpose also. Your work should be referred by someone in the future. Accordingly, you have to prepare you have to do your work. That's it. Email ID I have posted.
The
Okay, sorry,
participants
direct.
are waiting for
One,
your
one minute. 1 minute. Yes, I have posted. Just that is P0, not a PO. Yes, ma'am. That's it, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir has typed his email address in the chat box. You can refer that participants. So any other questions? Yes, sir. So I think no questions. We have come for the end of the session. So just a small information for the participants. The feedback link and the YouTube video session of this student development program will be shared through your email. Once we receive your feedback form, your e-certificates will be issued. So once again, I'll repeat it. The feedback link and the video session of this student development program will be shared through your email. Once we receive your feedback form, your e-certificates will be issued. This is a kind information for all the participants. So now I request, now as we have come for the end of the session, now I request our MBA 4th SEM student, Mr. Rohan, to proceed with the vote of thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I am audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are. Continue.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Rohan Kulkarni, today I take this privilege to proceed with the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank our resource person for the today's program, Dr. Satish P. Sir, for spending a valuable time with us. Sir gave an important inputs about how the dissertation can be converted into an article, which is very helpful in the present atmosphere. And it is how to publish an article with the help of dissertation. Nextly, I would like to thank our chairman, Dr. M. Rukmanda Naidu, sir, for his valuable support. Nextly, I would like to thank our director of PG program, Professor M. Venugopal, sir, for his valuable presence over here. Nextly, I would also thank our principal, Dr. Revati Shivshankaran ma'am, for her efforts in organizing the students development program, which was an eye-opener for all the students who are present over here. Thank you, ma'am. I would also thank our teaching and non-teaching staff both for all the time support. Last but not the least, I would also thank for all the technical team members who are technically who are technically with us for this organizing this event. Lastly, I would also thank all the students who are attended this program. For without you, it would not be possible and successful. Thank you so much, guys, for attending this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohan. So once again, on behalf of everyone, I thank you, Dr. Satish P. Sir, for your valuable presence over here. So it was very informative session. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, all the participants.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.